Welcome to this explainer. We've all absolutely been there, right? You pay a hefty bill to get a stubborn drain cleared, the water is finally flowing beautifully, and the plumber hands you a receipt with the word warranty stamped right on it. You feel invincible. But today, we're going to unpack what that piece of paper actually means in the real world, just so your wallet doesn't take a massive hit when the sink inevitably decides to rebel again.
Let's start by addressing the immediate stakes here. Picture this. You wake up the very next day, and that exact same sink is backing up again. Do you just call the plumber back for a free fix? Well, the answer is often a resounding, maybe. It all comes down to the specifics of the warranty they gave you. Assuming any future clog is just a free fix is a dangerous illusion, and honestly, it can cost you hundreds of dollars. The rules are much tighter than most of us realize, and the plumbing industry rarely just hands out freebies.
Okay, let's dive right into our consumer protection guide. Today we're covering 1. The drain warranty illusion. 2. What is actually covered. 3. Common exclusions and limits. 4. Keeping your coverage valid. And 5. Questions before you hire.
Kicking things off with Section 1, the drain warranty illusion. So, what are we really talking about here? Basically, a drain cleaning warranty is a written guarantee from a plumbing or drain service company. It simply states that if the problem reappears or isn't fully resolved after a cleaning job, the company will return to fix it. And while it sounds like this amazing safety net designed to reduce your risk, the actual scope is often surprisingly narrow. It's highly dependent on a very specific window of time and incredibly rigid conditions. You know, it's a contract, not a magic spell.
And there's a massive gap between the myth and the reality. We all kind of buy into this myth, right? I paid the plumber, so any clog in my house is covered now. But the reality? It's way different. Warranties usually relate only to the specific drain service performed. They definitely do not cover every possible cause of slow drainage in your house. Understanding exactly what triggers a claim and what sneaky exclusions are hiding in the fine print is literally the only way to know if you're actually protected.
Moving right along to Section 2. What is actually covered? Okay, so what actually triggers a valid claim? Coverage heavily focuses on issues that the original cleaning intended to address. If the blockage comes back and appears linked to what was removed originally, you're usually in good shape. But here's the catch. Same line remediation. This is absolutely crucial. Warranties are explicitly tied to the exact pipe or fixture worked on. If they snake the main sewer line but your kitchen sink trap is what's clogged today, yeah, you aren't covered. Now, early service failures, meaning the drain backs up just days after the appointment, are much more likely to qualify. But keep an eye out. Even if they offer a free return visit to snake the drain again, the fine print might completely exclude the cost of their labor or materials, leaving you footing a hefty bill anyway. Now, you might be wondering about the timeline. Warranty periods actually vary wildly. A simple snake job might just offer a short-term time frame of a few weeks. A more intense hydrojetting service, that might give you long-term coverage spanning several months. But remember, even long-term coverage requires normal usage, meaning you can't be treating your garbage disposal like a wood chipper. To survive the strict reporting timelines, your absolute best bet is to save your invoice, the work order, and the plumber's exact notes somewhere safe.
Which brings us to Section 3, common exclusions and limits. This part is vital, folks, because so many homeowners assume warranties cover any clog, and that is rarely the case. If your line has tree root intrusion, a cracked pipe, or a collapsed section, a simple cleaning warranty isn't going to touch those major structural repairs. Also, think about misuse. Dumping bacon grease down the drain, flushing so-called flushable wipes, which by the way are never actually flushable, or excessive hair buildup will instantly disqualify your claim. And here is a huge red flag: third-party work. If you try to play DIY hero with a wrench, or you let another contractor touch those pipes after the initial service, you can pretty much kiss your warranty goodbye.
So the big takeaway here is that your coverage does not travel. It is strictly locked down to the site of the original blockage. If the plumber cleared your kitchen sink and the next week your bathtub backs up, that's considered a completely separate issue. The warranty from the kitchen sink does not apply to the tub, even if it feels like one big connected plumbing nightmare to you.
Let's pivot over to Section 4, keeping your coverage valid.
To avoid messy disputes, you really have to play by the company's rules. Step 1 is simple. Just run water normally to ensure flow. But Step 2 is where people always mess up. Avoid chemical drain treatments. Pouring harsh caustic chemicals down a newly cleaned drain can eat away at older pipes. And honestly, a plumber will outright refuse to honor a warranty if they have to wade through toxic acid to fix it. Step 3, refrain from excessive use of that fixture until the system is stable. And Step 4, meticulously save all of your paperwork.
You know, depending on the cleaning method used, it's incredibly smart to ask the provider about follow-up maintenance. Actually, here is a massive pro tip for you. Hire a reputable provider who uses camera inspections to document their findings. If you have literal video proof of a squeaky clean pipe when they left, it becomes significantly easier to prove that a sudden clog 2 weeks later is a failure of their work and not a mistake on your end. That video is your ultimate leverage.
Finally, Section 5, questions before you hire. Let's put the power back in your hands. The absolute fastest way to protect yourself? Ask these exact questions and get the answers in writing before a single wrench is turned. Seriously, do not wait until the final bill is handed to you. Ask them point blank, what exact line is covered? How long is the warranty period? And when exactly does the clock start? What specific symptoms trigger a valid claim? What is explicitly excluded, like tree roots or grease? And perhaps most importantly, if you do have to come back out here, are you going to hit me with hidden fees for labor or diagnostics? Getting this in writing is your best shield. I really love this quote from our source because it perfectly sums up the whole shebang. It's not a blanket guarantee for every plumbing issue. A drain cleaning warranty can offer real, tangible financial value when a clog returns shortly after a service. But it's not magic. It offers real value only if you understand its specific limits, respect the maintenance rules, and keep your paperwork incredibly organized.
So I'm going to leave you with this to chew on. Do you actually know what's hiding in your plumbing paperwork? Take 5 minutes today to review your latest service invoice. Check the fine print, hunt for those sneaky exclusions, and file those receipts away safely. Do it right now so you aren't caught scrambling and paying out of pocket when the water suddenly stops draining tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay curious.